During this video, we'll introduce you to the new role within PF Chang's called the Expo Quality Manager, or better known as the EQM. The EQM can be the chef, the OP, a manager, or any designated staff member. In this video, we will go into the detail of its key roles and responsibilities. The first step in the EQM process is to validate Expo station readiness. The EQM will validate entree spoons, entree plates, rice bowls, and rice cups to ensure the proper levels are set for the shift and cleanliness is achieved. The EQM then validates the timestamps on the rice warmers to ensure the product meets our shelf life requirements. Once the timestamps have been validated, the EQM will now validate the sanitizer bucket to ensure the correct parts per million is within our company standard. The next step in the travel path of the EQM validation process is to verify that the white rice and brown rice is being stored at the proper temperature of 145 degrees or above. As the EQM continues the travel path along the Expo line, they will touch base with the takeout station to inspect takeout order readiness. The EQM then verifies the temperatures of the soups and sauces to ensure all products are being stored above the proper temperature zone. The last step of the Expo validation process is heat lamp readiness. He validates the heat lamps are reaching 150 degrees in temperature. While the EQM is running the Expo window, a critical process during this function is to validate the taste, temperature, and visual appearance of all the products entering the window. Using key identifiers, they must validate that the food meets our PF Chang standards and places the food on the tray to confirm that the food has been signed off by the EQM. A key function of the EQM process is to validate food and push the food back to the wok cooks that does not adhere to our PF Chang standards. It is extremely important to communicate what is wrong with the product and what needs to be corrected. Once the food has been rejected, the next process is to trigger the remake of the product through the KDS system. Tag any items that have been run to the guests and select the dish that needs to be remade by pushing the KDS remake button for that dish. The EQM pulls the dish forward to continue the validation process and check the plates for cleanliness along the edges. Wipe the plates around the edges using a paper towel and place the dish on the tray. Once the food has been trayed, it is now runner ready. The Expo transition happens from 11:15 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and only takes place if the chef encounters an issue that needs to be addressed within the kitchen. An increase of guest traffic occurs, the hospitality desk will communicate to the EQM. If the restaurant has experienced a high volume of guest traffic, the EQM needs to request a hospitality team member to communicate to the hospitality manager that the EQM is in need of assistance. Once the hospitality manager arrives, it is important to communicate the current state of the Expo line to allow the EQM to transition smoothly to the back of the house to make sure the kitchen staff is properly aligned. During peak dining times, the hospitality desk should provide the EQM with any changes to guest traffic every 15 minutes. The kitchen inspection can always happen when there is less than 6 checks on Main Expo and should take approximately 2 minutes. The inspection is to ensure our standards are being maintained within the kitchen. Once the EQM makes the transition onto the production line, it is important to gauge the current state of the line and where the attention and focus is needed. The EQM will ensure the culinary team is aligned with proper staffing levels to execute any increase in guest traffic. If any abnormalities are observed while the EQM is inspecting the line, he will need to address and coach the proper execution of any recipe or procedure. The EQM's main focus should be to ensure the recipe and process adherence is being met by the entire culinary team and the staff is producing a high-quality product in a timely manner. During low volume times, the EQM needs to spend an equal amount of time with the prep team members that he has spent coaching and training on the production line. While in the prep area, the EQM will focus its attention on recipe adherence, safety, and sanitation, as well as proper staff development and involvement. If any abnormalities are observed while the EQM is inspecting the line, he will need to address and coach the proper execution of any recipe or procedures. The EQM must use the quarterly line checkbook during their travel path to validate all daily checkpoints have been met while making corrective actions for any deficiencies.